If you sugar or do sex work, then this video is for you. Here's the story. Once upon a time, there was a woman. She worked as an escort. And there was this one man who far and away was her major client. In fact, without this client, her lifestyle would not be financially viable. Now, what she really wanted was to be a sugar baby. She wanted a stable, exclusive arrangement, and if the lifestyle could be what she wanted, marriage was a possibility. The problem was this client, who in so many ways was a great client, would talk again and again about his ex-sugar baby. He would talk about what great times he had had with her and the things she used to say. And when he took this woman on trips, Aspen, Tulum, they would get there, and then he would reminisce about the great times he had had when previously he had gone to that location with the ex-sugar baby. Get the picture? So, when he would do this, of course, this woman would get jealous, and she would sometimes just try to change the subject. And other times she would humor him, but she wasn't really listening to him. In fact, she was either worrying, like saying to herself, am I about to lose this client? What will happen if I lose this client? Is he going to go back to his ex? Stuff like that. And if she wasn't worrying about that, then instead she was on a different head trip. And it was comparing herself to the ex-sugar baby and wondering, in what way was this other sugar baby better? And what is it about herself? Why the guy won't treat her or think about her the way that he does and talks about the ex-sugar baby? And it seemed like all the good moments they were having would get ruined, because when a good moment started, that's when he would start reminiscing. So she didn't like getting jealous, but she couldn't stop her reactions, and it was getting in the way, and she began to be concerned that she was going to wind up ruining this because she would get in a sour mood. Okay, so how to work with that? Well, as you'll often hear me say, if you want to shift from surviving to flourishing, one of the key ideas that will help you make that shift is to be able to spot the difference between causation and occasion, between the when and the why. And here's how that applies here. Why this woman felt jealous and when she felt jealous are not the same thing. When did she become aware of feeling jealous? When she heard her primary client, her major client, reminisce about his ex. But that is not why she felt jealous. What gives rise to jealousy? And the answer is shame. Jealousy is an experience of shame. And shame is a feeling response to the belief, I'm inadequate, not good enough, and I'm going to wind up lonely and unloved and hopeless. This woman felt jealous because she already believed she was inadequate, that the reason this man, and possibly any man, would prefer another woman over her is that she's not good enough. She's inadequate and going to wind up alone and unloved. His reminiscing did not cause in her these beliefs about herself. And his reminiscing didn't cause her shame, didn't cause her jealousy. His reminiscing was the occasion of her having a feelings reaction to what she already believed about herself. His rumination was the occasion, not causation. Occasion, not causation. Get it? So, another thing that you regular viewers know that I'll point out is that when our nervous system has two branches, and in medicine we call them the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. For our purpose, we're going to call them the threat management system and the chill system. And the threat management system turns on when we perceive a threat to our self-acceptability or to our belongability. And when that happens, when the threat management system turns on, we get a sort of tunnel vision. And the effect of the tunnel vision is we perceive the situation in terms of what we already fear is true about ourselves, about others, or about the world. It becomes sort of self-fulfilling. And because we think the situation is about ourselves, we fail to notice that the other person's behavior is not being caused by us. And it may not even be about what we think it's about. So if this woman fears she is inadequate, fears that she'll wind up being left behind, then she will completely miss out on what's going on with this guy because she's preoccupied with her self-talk. Remember that she said once she got to thinking, whether it was self-comparing or worrying, it was really hard for her to stop, and in the meanwhile, she was distressed. So, if you notice jealousy, shame, or self-esteem fears preoccupy you, you're welcome to contact me for consultation. I'm Dr. Franklin, the sugar psychologist, and there is no charge for an initial conversation so we can decide whether consultation with me is right for you.